Howdy folks, Joe DeSanto here. How are ya? Okay, I'm going to try to make kind of a quick video explaining to whom and when you would send a 1099 out, because frankly it's quite confusing. And as you can see, it's a slightly different format here. I got an example W-9 up. I'm going to explain why. Okay, so 1099s, just in general, you send out really if you're a business and you are paying people for the purpose of business activities. So, if you're just a person and you're not engaging in business and you hire a plumber and they come to your house, you don't have to send them a 1099. However, if you're a business and they come to your business and do work for you and you're going to deduct that expense, you want to have you need to send a 1099, and you want to have that 1099 because if you were to get audited, that's the proof that that was a business expense and so on. So pretty much, it's for businesses. However, if you are a person, and of course you're a person, and you have rental real estate, even though you might own it in your name, as basically on your personal tax return, that is really like a business. I think it's which schedule is it? Schedule E. I forget what schedule it is. And if you are deducting expenses for your real estate business, i.e., your rental business, you do need to send 1099s for that. So you in that, but like I said, if you're just it's just for your basic living expenses, not. So that's number one. Okay, number two of who you send 1099s to depends on their tax status. Okay, and you're like, well, how would I know their tax status, Joe? And you would know it by getting this W-9 form from them. This is the form that independent contractors have to send you, so that one, you have their tax ID or their social security number, but also so you know their tax claiming status, and that will inform whether or not you need to send them a 1099. So on the W-9 here, you're going to see right here some tax status options. Now, if the person is just doing business as their name under their social security number, like you hire Sally to do, I don't know, some work for you at your business, you pay her $2,000. You're going to send her a 1099. Oh, I should say, by the way, I'm going to preface that you're a business or you're doing rental properties, you might have to send some 1099s. First thing is, if you paid them $600 or more, now you got to go and decide if you need to send them a 1099. If you've only paid them under $600, you don't have to worry about it. So, sorry, I should have said that first. So, back to the tax status. So, you've paid Sally a couple $1,000. You say, Sally, I need your W-9 so I know your correct name and your social security number and your address where I can send a thing. You also definitely want her email. And she fills it out, and she's going to say, well, I'm a person. I'm an individual sole proprietor here. Got my name, got my social. And in that case, yes, you send her a 1099. Okay? Actually, I'm going to do this quicker. Individual sole proprietors get 1099s. LLCs that are taxed as disregarded entities, so probably you would have both the LLC box and the sole proprietor box both checked for an LLC, they get a 1099. If someone has the LLC box and has P over here for partnership, they get a 1099. If they're an LLC but taxed as an S-corp, meaning if you read these instructions, you got an S here, they do not get a 1099. Basically, corporations don't get 1099s, either S-corps or C-corps. Now, it used to be the case that it was just corps, INCs, that were an S-corp or a C-corp, so it was clear, oh, if they're an INC, I don't need to send them a 1099. But now, LLCs can choose to be taxed like S-corps or C-corps, and if they are, they don't need a 1099. So if there's an S in here for the LLC or there's a C in here for the LLC, no 1099. And then, of course, if it's a corporation, meaning it's, XYZ INC as opposed to XYZ Company LLC, those people are going to check C Corp here or S Corp here. they don't get a 1099. And then there are LLPs, limited liability partnerships. They would get a 1099, and trusts and estates get a 1099. So first, is it for business or rental property? For the most part, there's probably some other things in there, but for most people, it's that. Then it's, did I pay them more than $600? Okay, I should consider maybe I need to send them a 1099. Then it's, are they an individual, sole proprietor, single member LLC, partnership LLC? I would potentially send them a 1099. Corporations, you can cut them out. Now, next set of rules is, how did you pay them? If you paid them using a checking account or Venmo or Zelle or some kind of app that, either directly from a checking account with an ACH wire or check, or some kind of app that just moves money from your checking account to their checking account, yes, you need to send them a 1099 if they meet the other criteria. If you paid them with a credit card, no matter what the deal is, $600, LLC, single member, yada yada, if you paid them with a credit card, you don't need to send them a 1099. That's because they received credit card payments, and the credit card company is supposed to send them a 1099 as this intermediary. You paid the credit card company pays them, they send the 1099. So that's nice. You use a credit card, you're off the hook for 1099s. All right, what about PayPal? That's the other major payer. Here's the thing. If you have a business account with PayPal and you send a payment to someone that has a business account, you don't need to send the 1099, because in that configuration, PayPal is going to send them the 1099 as a business customer accepting payments. They pay PayPal fees to be that. If you use a personal PayPal and pay someone on the friends and family selection to avoid the fees for you and them, but it's for your business and you're going to deduct it, you need to send them a 1099. It's crazy, I know, but once you figure out all these rules and get used to it, what you might do is actually start paying everybody with a credit card if you can, because you avoid 1099s. You'll also get in the habit of getting people's W-9 before you ever pay them anything, so you don't have to go chasing them later for the W-9. A lot of people will try to avoid giving you the W-9 so you can't send them a 1099 because they think maybe they're not going to report the income. I mean, whether you send a 1099, regardless of whether you do your job right, they have to claim the income. It doesn't get them off the hook, but the 1099 is more to let the government know that they got money over there. So if they're not then reporting it, the government knows that. But also, some vendors will use the 1099 as their bookkeeping system, and they go, I don't even know how much money I make until I get my 1099. That's the whole purpose of 1099. No, it's not. 1099 is not for their bookkeeping purposes. It's to tell the government they made money so the government can know if they're underreporting their income or not. And you might say, well, Joe, you just said we only have to 1099. It's like half the people out there. Well, how's the government going to know they made money or not? And you're like, yeah, loophole in the system. I don't know. Oddly enough, the credit card only has to send people a 1099 if they've made more than $20,000 and had 200 transactions total. They get no 1099 otherwise, but it's the credit card's responsibility to figure that out. So there's plenty of people not getting 1099s, legally not getting 1099s. They're all still required to fully report their income. It is the case, though, that there have been discussions, and you'll over time, to remove the loopholes. Like, everyone's got a 1099, get a 1099 corp, S-corp, LLC, whatever it is. And also that little caveat that the credit card doesn't have to send it for unless it's 20,000 or 200 transactions. That's getting undone, and they're going to have to start sending it. $600, you send it. $600, you send it. So eventually, you might just have to send 1099s to everybody, which would actually be way less confusing. But for now, I only send 1099s to the people I have to, because it's less paperwork and I don't have to pay for the 1099. Last bit is, if you do send a 1099 to someone that doesn't need it, like a corp, that's okay. It's not a problem to send a corp a 1099 because they got to report their income anyway. However, you're not supposed to send a 1099 to someone you've paid with a credit card because they could end up getting double reporting. If you report the income that's sent to the credit card and then the credit card reports the income that went on to the customer or the vendor, now that they're getting double whammy on the 1099 and you got to undo that. So it is important to kind of not send them to who you're not supposed to send them to. I just make that dividing line. But me as an S-corp, I often get 1099s anyway, even though people don't need to send them to me because it's easier for them probably to just have a flow or whatever. And, that's fine because I report on my income. So doesn't hurt me. But that's that. Hopefully that helps your 1099 journey be a little bit smoother. See you later.